Hi everybody, it's Crazy, it's Friday, and it's time for the UPBGE video of the week. Now, before I get started, gotta give a shout out to my trust because you guys do rock. To my Crazy fam, I love you guys. And to my patrons, thank you for all your continued support. Now, we are up to episode number 20, and last week we actually wrapped up our Suzie shark and made a UV wrapping around her to make her have a skin. So, next, what we have to do is we got to trigger. So what we've got so far is our little Suzie shark right here. She's got a little fish on the bottom, white eyes. You can change the color of the eyes however you want. That's fine. It's all good. Okay. I'm going to hit the N key, put on my screencast keys because I keep forgetting to do that. Okay. So we got our Suzie shark. Okay. Now we're going to be doing rigging today. All right. So let's go ahead and get started on, or go to that. Let's see here. I'm kind of bring this up. I'm just kind of like all kinds of messing up today, and there we go. Okay, let's go like that. All right. So we're working on rigging. So we're going to animate the shark. We're going to animate our Suzie shark. Okay. In order to make the shark swim, we need an armature with bones. Similar to real bones, the blender bones will deform the mesh, producing an animation or producing the animation for our game. Okay, if you would like to get the base file for it to kind of help you out with understanding where each one goes, you can go into the assets and Shark 6 will get you that. Okay, the only problem is with that, it's already done their way, and you don't really learn anything. So, give it a try first for yourself and then go from there, okay? But if you don't know where that's at and you want to do it that way, the link is in the description. You can go to the GitHub page. You can download all the chapters, and you can get the assets along with it. Okay, I built this, built ours ourselves. You did too if you've been following along. But if you want the easier way to do it, there you go. Okay. So the first thing to do is to add an armature object, which is Shift A, which is armature. Okay, so we're going to switch over to here, go to our Suzie shark. Here we are. We're going to hit Shift A. Oops, yeah, it's not going to do anything if I don't have it on it. Shift A, and you see I've got armature right here, and there's all kinds of things you can do with the armatures, but we're just going to do a single bone. Okay, we're not going to do it just yet because there's a couple things we got to do first. Okay, so it's important to have the armature at the armature center at the center of mass of the shark, which happens to be the right place for the shark mesh origin as well. Okay, so in our case, it's in the center of the scene at coordinate 0, 0, 0. That's right here at this point right here. Okay, so if we hit N, okay, right now our Suzie shark is not dead center. Okay, that right there's off by like 0.5, so it's over 0.5 from the center. But if we hit Shift S and cursor to center, you'll notice that the cursor is right here. That's the center of the scene, okay? To make sure you got this right, in the 3D view, look at the big dot representing the center of the shark, or try to locate it using its center as pivot. If the center is slightly above the side swimmers and centralized in the short side of the shark, you are good to go. Technically, no, you're not. Okay, because it's actually got to be here, not here. This is where the swimmer is, and that's at the short part of the thing. It's not going to work. So we got to do move the 3D. Oh no, I'm sorry. Otherwise, you need to reset the origin with the Shift, Control Alt C, which is in this case Control Alt Shift C. I don't know why they say it the other way, but Control Alt Shift C will actually give you your origins menu. Okay, set your origin. Okay, you can set it to 3D cursor, but there's other ways to do it. So you can move the 3D cursor to the approximate location, or to skip the next step, put it in 0, 0, 0, or use Shift C. Okay, now Shift C, okay, we'll put it towards, I don't know why that didn't work, that's because it's for an older version of Blender. So That didn't work. Some of these things may work. Some of the old shortcuts are a little bit off, but you can actually go to, put the cursor at the center by hitting, I believe it's Shift S. Yeah, hit Shift S and hit cursor to center. Okay. So once you got it in the center, okay, you set its X coordinate to 0. Okay. The property panel shows the 3D cursor's exact location. Okay, so where's it at? I believe that is in 3D cursor right here. Okay, so if you go to 3D cursor, that should be 0, 0, 0. That puts it right in the center. Now, say if I clicked over here. Now, if you notice, those have all changed. You can easily fix that just by left-clicking and dragging. Okay, I'm going to do that again. You're going to left-click and drag all the way down, and then let go. It will make it to where you can have all of them, and you can hit them at 1 if you want. Okay, all ones. You notice it hits it at all ones. It's all the way over there. Okay, but we're going to hit it to 0, so it's at center. Okay, set the origin to 3D cursor. Okay, so you hit Control Alt Shift C. Okay, and then do the 3D cursor. Now it's going to put your origin, okay, right here at the center of the shark and that. You can also hit Control Alt Shift C and do origin to center of mass. Okay, but it's going to put it over here to the head, and that's not really where you want it. Okay, Control Alt Shift C again, and just go. You can do it to geometry, which is going to put it there. It's not going to set it right. You can do geometry to origin. But we don't want to do that because that moves it. Okay, so hit Control Alt Shift C one more time and make sure you go to origin to 3D cursor is what you want because you got your 3D cursor set here. Okay, so let's try that one more time. There we go. Now it's at where we want it to be at. Okay, with the 3D cursor in the center of the object, add the armature, Shift A. Okay, so let's do that. So, excuse me, Shift A. Whoops, Shift A. Okay, we'll add our single bone. Okay. Now, in edit mode of the armature, select this bone. Okay, so we've already got it selected, so we got to go to the edit mode. Now, notice it's only got it up here. We got to select the bone with the right mouse button, or you can actually hit A. Okay, if it's got this one, you can it'll take it off, but you have to hit A again to select the whole thing. Okay, and move it 1 unit in the Z direction. We're going to actually do it in the negative Z direction, not the positive, because if you do grab Z1, it's going to throw it way up there. You don't want to do that. So you're going to hit grab, grab Z -1, which will throw it down. That's what we want. Okay? And then click, and it'll put it there. Okay, so now the tail of the bone is in the center. That's the tail of the bone here. This is the head of the bone, okay? Now, the tail is the small extremity of the bone opposite to the head. This is the head. This will be our root bone, okay? This is the root bone. Now, if you want to name it, you can come over here and you can name it, okay? Call it root, okay? Because that's our root bone, okay? As you see, it's a bone. All right, so you can do all kinds of cool stuff with that. I just named it root because it's a lot easier. Shift S, let's put that back to center because I love this click the left mouse button for some unknown reason. I just like to, sorry. Okay. All right, so this will be our root bone, the one bone that controls all the others, okay? With the 3D cursor still in the center, add a new bone, okay? With Shift A. So we're going to go Shift A. We're going to add a new bone. We just did. Okay. Select this bone tail, which is what was already selected, and move, which is grab. Grab it until it matches the mouth location as it shows in this figure here. I'm going to switch over to it. Okay. So it kind of looks like this. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to go grab, and we're just going to put it down. Okay, so I'm going to switch back over. Okay. Now I hit 4 because what that does is it switches screens for me. So you'll see a 4 pop up there. Just means I'm switching screens. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now if you notice, you can't see that bone I just moved. The easiest way to fix that is in your objects panel over here. You scroll all the way down, and then you're going to hit X-ray. This way you can actually see your bones. You don't have, or if you don't want to do that, you can actually switch it over to wireframe. So you can actually see the bone itself, but it's still kind of weird. Some people like it, some people don't. I just kept it on textured, and I just went ahead and hit the Z axis. Okay. So see, we rotated it. I'm trying to catch up. Now select this bone and the root bone and parent them without linking them. That's Control P, keep offset. So if we select that one, hit Shift, select that one, and hit Control P, you can have connected or keep offset. Now this will not make it to where they're connected. See, it won't connect them. They don't move with the other one. Okay, they're just there. Okay. This way the bone can still move freely, although it is parented to the root bone. Okay, back to the root bone. Select its tail and extrude it. Okay, so we're going to go to this one. We're going to go, oh, hang on, I know, we messed up, y'all. Oops. No, I'm in edit mode, okay. Go like that. Hopefully it's parented. Cool. See, yeah, okay. So I'm gone as far as I can go. So select that one, grab that one, and hit. Yeah, you gotta click the root bone. So hit grab. Nope. There we go. Okay. Make sure you grab the root bone and not grab the extra bone. Okay. You want the root bone because that's what it said. Yeah, this is another way of adding bones. Yeah. So back to the root bone. Select its tail and extrude it. So we want to extrude from the root bone, not from the other bone. Okay. So we hit extrude. This is another way to do it. We're going to bring it to the tail. And then we're going to hit extrude, and then we're going to bring it just out a little bit past the back of the back tail. Okay, so move the extruded bone to the beginning of the shark tail. Now repeat the procedure for the new bone, extruding it all the way to the end of the shark tail. Okay, now what it's talking about is not here, but here. Okay, so we got to bring it out just a little bit further, just kind of get a good line on that. Yeah. That right there will work. Okay, so make sure it's where the end of the tail is, not at the point where it's at the end of the bone, that little incave there of the fin. Okay. All right, so extruding all the way to the end of the tail. All right, so you can actually go into the assets folder, and under Shark 7, you can actually have this or see what it's like, how they have it. But you can also switch over to here. I'm going to switch over here so you can see it. Let me get off of that. There we go. Okay, so it should look like this when you're done. As you notice, these go to the end of the tail. This goes to the end of that tail. This was extruded off the root bone, and this one comes out to basically the nose or the mouth. Okay. All right, so let's switch back over. There we go. All right, so before animating the shark, we need to link the armature with the mesh. This is done with the set parent operator. Okay. In the object mode, in object mode, so we're gonna click back over here on this, and we're gonna go tab to switch back over to object mode, which brings us over to object mode. Okay. Select the shark mesh. Okay. Selected. Okay. Hold down Shift, and then select the shark armature. Okay. And then hit Control P. Okay. Now you're going to go down to armature deform, and then you're going to go to with automatic weights. Okay, this will try to automatically set the influence of each bone in the mesh. Okay, for fine tuning, select the armature. Okay, so we select the armature. Okay, set it in pose mode. So let's go down here to pose mode, because when you do bones, you actually get a new little deal here called pose mode. Pose mode is fun. You can actually make it work. Okay, pose mode, and then select the mesh and set it to weight paint mode. Now we go to that, and then we go to weight paint. Okay, now you'll see that when we're on a certain one, okay, which bone we have selected, it will do that bone. Okay, so let's go to, let's switch back out of that. Switch back to object mode, select this one, go to this. Actually, we want to select that bone. Okay, so let's go back to pose mode. Select that. Okay, let's try that again. You got to do shift. I'm sorry, shift. Okay, you select the bones. Okay, like say you want to do this bone. Okay, then you select a mesh, and then you go to weight paint mode. Okay, now you see that, I'm going to zoom in so you can actually see what I'm talking about. You'll see that the back tail fin, or the fin, needs to be colored to where it's all red. Now if you hit T, okay, you can actually set it to where it's 100%. Strength at 100%, and you're going to hit add. Okay, so if you hit add, it will add to it. See how it just turned that red? You want all that red, because that's what's going to change. Okay, and make sure you get both sides, make sure it's good. Okay, all right, so now when you got that one done, you can go back over to object mode. You can hit shift and select that one. Okay, and then hit the mesh, come back up to weight paint mode, and it will show you that one's red. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing as we did before. Okay, we want to paint all this red. Okay, we want it to be able to swim, and we don't want her doing any goofy stuff. Okay, now even though she's a very simple mesh, as you see right there where the neck is, that can be a problem. Okay, so just try to get as much of that red as possible around where the neck is. Okay, and the entire body you want red with this one. Okay, so we're going to zoom out. Now we're going to go to object mode again. We're going to select this one, then that. Go back to weight paint mode, and now you see that the head is now needs to be painted. Make sure it's red. So we want to make sure that the head is red, and if you mess up, you can always come over here and hit subtract. You can take it back off. See? So that's what we want. We want it to not have any control. This bone here, we don't want to have control. Okay, so we're going to get rid of all the other ones that could possibly cause it issue. Okay, let's see if we can get that around there, that around there. We go. Okay, and if you notice this one, we want to make sure that there is no other spot that can grab it. This one's going to have no influence on any of this, so we can take it all off. Okay, we're going to go back to this one. Good, that one's good, and that one's good. Okay, so now we've got it all weight painted up. Okay, so if I switch over to, let's go to this real quick, back over to here. Okay, there we go. Okay, as you see, if we have the head selected, the head should be done. As you see, they've got her head there. That's fine. If you want to do it that way, I always turn it blue or red, fully red if it's for the the fish body, because you'll get some weird distortions right here and through here, and then right here. This would really get kind of distorted whenever she moves. Okay. Okay. So X-ray and auto normalize. Okay, with the armature selected, let's do that. Let's switch on, if I can get my mouse to do what it's supposed to do. Come here, mouse. Okay. Okay. Alright, with the armature selected, so we're going to go out of weight paint mode. We're going to go ahead and select the armature. I'm going to take it out of weight paint mode. We're going to have the armature selected. Okay, go to the properties data panel and select X-ray on the armature display. This will make the bones always visible. Okay, I just showed you all how to do that. It's right over here. Come over here and hit X-ray. Okay. Also, while weight painting, you can set auto normalize to the tool panel. Let's see. Hang on. Let me reread that. You can set the auto normalize in the tool panel. This ensures that all bones deforming vertex groups don't end up to one while weight painting. Okay. All right. So to test the bones weighting. Okay, it's just the weighting of it, not the weighting. Move the bones around, okay, in the pose mode, not edit mode, and see if the mesh goes with it. Okay, and the file is in Shark 8. Okay, so we can, while we got the bone selected, you can go over here to pose mode. Okay, so let's do a top-down view. Okay, so we want our shark to swim, so we can take this bone right here and go rotate Z, and as you see, her head turns. Okay, rotate Z, her body waggles, and rotate Z, and her tail waggles. Yay! Woohoo! Okay, so I mean, you can actually make her, look up and down. See, rotate. I believe that's X. Okay, she can say yes. Okay, so, and you can just hit grab if you really want it, or I believe it's rotate. I think it's, yeah, you have to rotate, and then, you can make her rotate depending upon your view. Okay, so, I don't know what we can do with this. Let's see, that can make her rotate completely around. Woohoo! Now, as you see, we got some deformations here, which should not be happening. So this is how you find out if it's actually working or not. So hit grab. Okay, her body's doing fine. Grab. Okay, grab. Oh, okay. So basically, this is weight painted somehow that it shouldn't be. So we can fix that. And I'll let y'all go ahead and fix that. That's where we're going to stop for today. Next week we'll start off with, or finish off with doing some animations on it. We want to make sure your bones got all the blues where the blue should be, because blue means it's not going to move. Red means it's going to move. So give that a try. Let's see, here we go. Give that a try, and next week we'll come back and we're going to go ahead and do some animations. So stick with it, and you're getting closer and closer to building your first game. See y'all next time.